This is it. This is it. Why don't you guys go ahead? I'll park the car. So, you still think this was a good idea? Of course. Look, Mom and Dad look happy to see us. Who on earth are they? I think that's our little girl. That's not little. That's a really big problem. Wasn't she supposed to kiss Prince Charming and break the spell? Well, he's no Prince Charming, but they do look happy now. We came. We saw them. Now let's go before they light the torches. They're my parents. Hello, they locked you in a tower. Hey, that was for my good. Now here's our chance. Let's go back inside and pretend we're not home. Harold, we have to be quick. While they're not looking, we could make a run for it. Shrek, stop it. Everything's gonna be a disaster. There is no way you can do this. I really, really, really don't want to be here. Mom, Dad, I'd like you to meet my husband, Shrek. Well, it's easy to see where Fiona gets her good looks from.
Perfect. Outstanding.
Oh, is that where you're ending it too?
That's from that.
Yeah. I like that we're doing this in honor of the new SHREK release. We'll get to that later, so stay put for that. But that is a quote from Shrek 2, and that entire movie is just a wonder. It's a
Gem.
masterpiece, truly a masterpiece, one that will go down in history forever as one of the greats. Along up there, along with Jaws and To Kill a Mockingbird, right there, sitting right next to it is Shrek 2.
Perfect.
Exactly. So this is perfect. You did a great job too, Brian. That was lovely.
Thank you.
Anyways, welcome back to yet another episode of Bump That episode 176. If you don't know who we are, we've got Brian somewhere on the screen.
Stallion, baby.
We've got KT somewhere on the screen.
I hate Mondays.
And my eye is twitching weirdly, but I'm Ileana, your host, and we're siblings who have a love for all things nerdy.
Gross.
Movies, TV shows, video games, TV shows, all things of that sort. And we just, and we decided to talk about it here on the internet
It's a
with
bit
all of you
early
people.
for that, isn't it?
I was just thinking that.
There
I'm
you
so
go.
glad you said it. Yes.
There you go.
I was just
yes, I
eating.
was just about to begin eating. What's that supposed to mean?
Harold.
No, I like, darling.
Oh.
And
Great soup, Mrs. Q.
We are siblings who have a love for all things nerdy, movies, video games, TV shows, all things of that sort. Decided to talk about it here on the internet with all of you people, and here you are listening. So, welcome. You know what, KT, I will applaud you on this show, Doc. I am so excited to talk about everything on here, legitimately, because there's a lot to talk about, and this is all good stuff. Okay,
Well,
maybe not.
I thought so too.
Maybe not so much E, but
What?
I mean, it's just fun. It just comes every year. But anyways, the other ones I'm like, yes. These are good things. Good things. So stay tuned, my friends. Stay tuned.
Are we looking
But-
at the same show, Doc?
No, I am excited to talk about them. Legitimately, I'm being serious.
Okay.
Are you seeing, Brian? Do you have the one with excerpt E on it?
I have the one that says E. Martende.
We're not there yet. Shut up.
Just making
Oh,
sure you
sorry.
got that one.
Who's Martin?
Oh, please.
Martin. Anyways, starting off with the Oscars. Okay, so the Oscars was this past weekend.
Yes.
Yay. Nothing really happened. Fantastic. Except the one thing that I really loved was seeing Adam Sandler dressed up in his like basketball shorts and like a hoodie. And
Jeremy.
yeah. Conan O'Brien
good.
called him out on stage, and he's like, why you gotta be like that? And then yeah, he does go to Timothy Chalamet in his typical Adam Sandler way. So wonderful. But we did get Anora wins Best Picture at the Oscars. Don't know what the flub is, Anora, at all.
So
No
let me
clue.
explain. The movie cost $6 million to make.
Okay.
To this date, it's made about $40 million. So it's one of the lowest box office performing Oscar winners of all time. Nobody's
pretty
seen
wild.
it. It was barely released anywhere in the Midwest.
No one has ever
It's
heard
pretty
of
much,
it.
yeah, pretty much the film is about an escort in Brooklyn that meets this rich Russian oligarch's kid. They get married, and then the oligarch's family wants the escort to annul marriage, but she's I guess a Spitfire, so hijinks ensue. Yay, it's a love story.
Wow.
Sounds
Riveting.
Yeah.
really boring.
It sounds like those typical rom-com movies. No, not even a com, just like romantic movies.
Well,
where
it's
it's
kind
like
of like Pretty Woman.
yeah, where
the
no one will
cor-
understand me. I'm going to go out into the woods, but everyone desires me. Those types of girls.
It's one of the record-breaking movies for F-bombs. It has 487 F-bombs.
Good.
What?
grief.
For what reason?
That's how
Good.
people talk in the real world.
Sid Star says Anora was great, really well made, and definitely deserved the recognition. It's not a romance. Well,
Okay, if you say so.
yeah, if you say so, we'll go with it.
Thanks
but
for chiming in. Thank you for your input.
yeah, I
Glad
just
to know somebody saw this movie.
I know it's like who saw this? I don't think it. Well, except for Sid Star. Now I was like, I don't think I've heard a single person talk about this movie.
Yeah, the whole Oscars this year it decreased. For one thing, the telecast decreased by 7%. Nobody's watching
Wow.
this thing. Only
Yeah, I didn't
they
watch
say
it.
like 1 billion people are watching it around the world. Well, more like probably like 50 million people.
Yeah.
Only like 20 million Americans watched it.
But speaking of that, where it was kind of like a odd year, the best animated feature film goes to Flow. Now, I never watched Flow, but I just know like the movie poster, and it's of the kitty cat in the water. Did you guys ever watch Flow?
Never even
No, it's
heard of
from
it
Latvia.
until I found out it won.
15 minutes ago.
Pretty
Yeah.
much, yeah.
It's like I saw it being advertised like here and there places, but I never watched it.
It's just
I honestly
because
go ahead.
The two biggest movies nominated for Oscars were Wicked and Dune Part 2. But even all the other films, they usually at Oscars you have movies that make 50, 60, 70, 80 million. People see them, people know them.
Yeah.
Though of all the 10 films nominated, I mean, nobody knows other than Wicked and Dune Part 2. Nobody knows what they are.
Well, and this is the same thing with the animated films. I guess the ones I can't remember which ones were nominated, but The Wild Robot and Inside Out 2,
I can't believe The Wild Robot didn't win.
Right. You would think like, okay, those ones for sure would at least win, either way it would be okay. But then Flow comes out of nowhere and takes the trophy. So it's like, what is going on? What happened this year? And I saw a TikTok recently that someone was like, man, we've got a stacked year for animated movie nominations. I was like, I felt like the John Travolta, like where?
Yeah.
I don't see him. I don't
Right.
see any of these like so-called amazing animated movies. It's like, sure, Wild Robot was good. Inside Out 2 was good, but Sid Star says they had a new committee this year, I think. That could explain some things. But even still, like even last year it was an odd year too when A24's Everything Everywhere All at Once took the win. And a lot of awards were given out for that movie as well. I feel like that was very different to what we've been seeing in
What the heck
the
is
past.
this? I'm looking at one of the other movie that was nominated. It's called Memoir of a Snail. What the heck is this? This looks like the California Raisins.
Stop. No, it doesn't.
No, I'm serious. It looks like a Tim
Oh,
Burton
yeah.
version of the California Raisins.
I remember I saw a clip of it.
What?
Yeah,
What the
interesting.
frick is this?
Oh, what the?
What is
Yeah,
this?
I'm looking
What
at it right
the
now.
heck?
Huh. That's
Okay,
Yeah.
aesthetics aside, I'm sure that it was good, maybe, for it to be nominated.
In the
What?
clip they saw some little old grandma's like, "Oh, you're a very cute butterfly," and she's like, "I'm not a butterfly. I'm a snail."
so it's
Oh
very
yes.
interesting though that a lot of typical animated movie companies were not here this time. Do you know what I mean? Like Disney's not really represented, Pixar well they had
Pixar
Pixar,
was.
but they only had one Pixar.
Wallace and Gromit got nominated.
Yeah, but that's also kind of like they've been like dead for a long time. Aardman Studios.
No, they haven't.
Haven't heard of Aardman Studios since that last pirate movie in like 2012.
They did
No,
Chicken
this movie
Chicken
was
Run Part
fantastic.
2.
I never saw Chicken Run Part 2.
No, forget that.
That
Forget
just
that.
came out.
No, Wallace and Gromit was fantastic.
I don't
It's really good.
deny that it was. However, I'm saying Aardman has not been in the playing field since like 2012. So
Listen,
they've
you
just
know how
been
long it takes to make these stop motion movies.
Yeah, I know. But that's the other thing. Where's Leica Studios? Where is the Tim Burton Studios? Where are all these other animated studios? Why are they so quiet? Even the heavy hitters like Disney, where are they?
They're letting other people for AI.
It's like very interesting.
Oh, and that should
Segue us.
I guess that's later.
Well, no, that can segue us into why James Cameron's
both.
Yeah, upcoming Avatar Fire and Ash, okay? That's the title card. There will be a disclaimer that there is no generative AI used in the making of this film. That is so interesting. And
eerie to me.
Yeah. That's why I was like, when I looked at that, I'm like, oh, that's a really cool, interesting thing that we're going to have to start thinking about when going into these movies was AI used? And when he means was generative AI, does he mean like at all? There was no use in the script. There was no use in designing sets, like anything. Nothing was used in AI. Because I feel like with some movies, they might use it for some aspects, like to fill in things or get ideas from, but not necessarily put in the movie itself. So I'm just wondering, this is a very interesting start to like our future and what we're going to start seeing from now on. AI being used in movies and very they're all professional, but very how would I say, people who love movies who don't want to rely on that. I guess they care about the art a whole lot more, that they're going to be saying like AI, absolutely not. We're not using it.
Purists.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, purists. Sid Star says, well, Adrian Brody, who won an Oscar, apparently had AI used on his voice in The Brutalist, and that upset people. So I think it's important that filmmakers are honest about how their movies were made.
Yeah. You right, girl.
This will be a very, very interesting new turn of events for the future, I guess, and how movie making is done.
A lot of people said that, Adrian Brody, so they use AI to clean up his accent because he plays a Middle Eastern character in the film. And then it's like, well, if Tim Chalamet is learning guitar and not using any AI to clean up that, maybe he should be more deserved of an award.
Yeah.
Or compared to the other actors, nominated that were just, it was just them, nothing else. Maybe they should have more of a shot than,
yeah, like the authenticity of it all.
Well, that's
Yeah.
why I think the whole Oscars as a whole is a sham. Like,
Well, I
yeah,
wonder now,
controversial.
is there going to be like an AI category upcoming sometime soon?
Do I care? I mean,
I
at
mean, but
this
it's still a
point,
question to ask. It's like, that's a very strong
valid
possibility.
question,
Yeah.
Man,
but
if it can't even give stuntmen an award,
yeah.
I
Oh
mean,
man,
you
you're
know,
so right. That's so true.
I know,
They had an
right?
entire movie made
I
about
know.
them, The Fall Guys, and I know that was a remake, but still, uh, that was a great movie too. That didn't get nominated for anything, but
No.
No, it kind of looked like, I didn't see it, but it kind of looked like a hokey movie, or it was just too silly
it
for
was
it to be
so
taken
good.
serious. It looked too silly to be taken seriously.
In many ways, it was like they were making fun of Dune in several parts. Like it
Mhm.
was about making a movie, and the movie was like inspired by Dune, and so a lot of it was like jokey, but it was still really good, really fun, and like wow, these people really do try so hard with all of these stunts, and all the stunts in the movie were great. um
Was
sit
Deadpool versus Wolverine nominated for anything?
Heck no.
how about
The
Twisters?
Oscars, no, the Oscars have become very, very independent,
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's
it
like, you know
sounds
what?
like
artistry
it.
fair.
I don't care about
You
your
know,
snooty movies that are irrelevant to me and my feelings. You can have your Russian aristocrats, and their
And that's
oligarchs.
been the
yeah.
interesting thing though, because I feel like for the longest time it was, every blockbuster movie's gonna win, duh, and then they swung too heavy to the indie side. They were like, okay, you don't want
But
blockbusters to
really, what
win?
blockbuster movie really won? Like, really?
Just in the past, some
Uh,
blockbusters have been,
They've
heavy
been
Return
hitters.
of the
nominated.
King was probably the most recent
Who?
one.
Return of the King, he says.
Return of the
Okay,
King.
sorry. That was from 2004.
Yeah. Dang,
Pardon
dude, you're really
me.
Let's
digging for stuff long time ago.
And maybe
Oppenheimer.
Titanic before
No,
that.
Oppenheimer made $1 billion. That's a blockbuster, even
Did
though it
it
was
did it
very
win
still
Best Picture? I
artistic.
don't remember.
It won Best Picture. Yeah, Oppenheimer.
Okay, well, okay, good. All right. Pardon me.
That's one of the see. That's the kind of thing. Like, well, so last year you had Barbie, you had Oppenheimer, blockbusters, but they were very
Lord, was
critically
that
acclaimed
last
too.
year?
Yeah. So this year you didn't have the equivalent of that. You had Dune and Wicked, but maybe they were too blockbuster for
Yeah,
their own
so I'll
good.
just go through like some recent best picture winners. You have Honora, boo, Oppenheimer, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Coda.
That's
The fudge is that? No,
that's
no,
about deaf people.
Nomadland. The fudge is that?
That's our
Parasite
very
2020. Okay.
indie, yeah, indie.
Green Book.
Which was
That
widely
was,
it was criticized heavily.
The Shape of
but
Water.
it was a
Shape of
blockbuster.
Butter?
That was an
What'd you say?
independent
Water.
film.
Oh,
The Shape of Butter. Moonlight.
controversial
Indie,
as well.
Spotlight. What is that?
indie.
Birdman.
That was indie.
12 Years a Slave.
That was pretty. It didn't make a
It
ton
was
of money.
mainstream, I think.
Yeah, I'd say it's mainstream because I actually know the
Yeah.
freaking title and I don't know any of the other ones. Argo.
That was a blockbuster. They made a lot
Yep.
of money.
I saw that on
The
a plane.
The Artist.
Yeah.
I saw that in
Indie.
college.
The Hurt Locker.
That was a blockbuster.
I'm really surprised this one. What the heck?
Actually, you know
No,
what?
it's not a
Hurt
blockbuster.
Locker was like at the tail end of DVDs, where the DVD sales for that movie it did better than it on DVD than it
Huh.
did in theaters.
I'll go through a
You
couple
know.
more. The King's Speech. I'm surprised that won, but I know that movie.
I saw it.
Slumdog Millionaire.
That made money.
I-
That was $100 million.
I saw
I
that
actually know that
movie
one.
bootlegged.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
No Country for Old Men.
That did
I know
pretty
that
well.
That did well.
Yeah. The
That did pretty
Departed.
well. That made a lot of money.
Crash.
Yeah.
Don't know that one. $1
Mm,
Million
Maybe.
Baby.
That one did
That
pretty
made a lot of
well.
money. Yeah.
The Return of the King.
Never heard of
Yeah.
it.
Blockbuster.
Chicago.
Controversial.
Blockbuster.
A Beautiful Mind.
Blockbuster.
Gladiator.
Blockbuster.
Blockbuster.
And American Beauty.
Blockbuster.
So
That was
do
not
you
a
see?
blockbuster.
Do you see what like just
It did.
happened though?
Again, though, that's one of those movies that did really well in the DVD era, where it sold a lot of DVDs,
American
and that's how it
Beauty?
made a lot of money. Yes,
No
absolutely.
way.
That was like one of those movies that people rented a ton of.
They didn't
Gotta
have
go to
show it on
Blockbuster.
PBS.
Gotta go to Blockbuster.
It was on TNT all the time.
So it's just
Yeah.
really interesting how you saw like the transition. It was indie, blockbuster, blockbuster. That's the
Or
transition.
you had at least heard of it.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe not a blockbuster, but at least you saw commercials. And maybe that's the other thing too. Maybe we don't see
Or it
commercials
had-
as much as we
It
used to.
had movie stars in it though, like
Yeah.
big name movie stars. Anora,
But there's-
it doesn't have.
But
big
there's
name
still
movie
things that are
stars.
like the movies that are coming out these days as well are still heavily showing, movie stars.
I think we're just sick of them.
That too. We all know they're full of doo-doo. So
Well, and their face is acquainted with something else that is more recognizable. And so
Yeah.
when you see that
every
that
time I
movie,
see
it's
Chris
like,
Pratt, I'm like Mario, Parks and Rec,
yeah,
Guardians of the Galaxy.
not Interstellar. Good grief, that one movie with what's her name?
Passengers.
Passenger.
that's it.
He's been in too many gosh darn things. Ooh, what was that one movie? That cowboy shootout movie?
The Lego Movie.
Magnificent Seven.
No. Yes, the Magnificent Seven. Be quiet, you. Sid Star
Jurassic
says,
World.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there you
Yeah.
go. Sid Star says, yeah, that's what everyone's saying. Chalamet and Stan both put so much work into transforming their character, and they lost to someone who used AI. Also, she says,
Mhm.
the SAG Award gave out a version of awards for stunt teams during the pre-show interviews, but I agree that they should have an actual category.
Mm.
So,
Indeed.
we'll see next year where this gets us, but obviously it doesn't really look like it's doing that great. I think we're going to see a drop in even more viewers. I think we're going to see even less well-known movies, because even like the Zoe Saldana, whatever the heck that movie,
Oh, and that movie, Sophia, what's her name?
Yeah.
If it's even Sophia, that movie was
Amelia
controversial.
Perez.
Yeah, that's what-
Sophia.
I don't know.
Yeah, I
That
know.
movie was controversial in lots of ways. In
Yeah,
fact, she had
we
to
talked about that a
apologize
little bit.
for offending people after she made her speech
It's like,
on behalf of the movie.
and it's like, that's the director should have been the one doing that,
Well, if you have to apologize to a whole group of people, a literal country of people,
Yes.
after the fact, maybe you shouldn't make that movie.
Right. And
Just an
how are
idea.
you getting an award for it if you're having to apologize for this?
Yes.
Like, who is awarding you this high honor when this movie was doo-doo? Mega
Now,
doo-doo.
I was talking with fellow sibling Katie. I'm not gonna give her last name, who gave me this awesome shirt for Mario Day. And she said that we couldn't even watch it, even if we wanted to, as just ordinary people. We couldn't even watch the Oscars because of how incredibly vulgar it is in the first place.
Oh, really? It was?
What?
Yes,
What are you
just
talking
the way
about?
they walk up there with showing every bit of their part of their body just to be controversial. It was
Mm.
like the Kanye thing all over again. Sibling
What are you talking
Katie
about?
Yeah.
showed me a picture of somebody that I don't even know that went up to the red carpet wearing you saw everything, literally. No brassiere
This is during the red carpet thing,
during
or
the
actual
red
ceremony?
carpet thing.
Okay,
Yikes.
I didn't watch that part. This
Yeah,
I didn't
we
watch any
can't
of it.
watch that because who wants to see that? It's
Even
no
if there
longer-
are no children present, it's
Right,
still
I
like,
don't wanna
I
see
don't want to
that.
see it.
I don't want to see your wing wang. or lack thereof. I don't know. I don't want any of that.
Only thing I want to see is man butt because that's
Not
funny.
even, bro.
No, man butt's always funny.
Maybe Danny
Always.
DeVito's.
Have I seen it? Yes, I
Yes.
have. In
Yes.
that one movie.
Big Fish.
Yeah.
Is
When he's
his
I
like,
rear
was
end in
thinking.
that?
"Tuh."
No, I was thinking Always Sunny.
I haven't seen that before. But
Always Sunny in
yeah, we
Philadelphia.
saw
You haven't
his
seen that
little
show?
tushy.
That
I've,
show's
ne-
fantastic.
I've never seen it before. I just
love
know
that show.
I'm the trash man. That's all I got.
Yes.
But anyways, like I said, the Oscars, it's going downhill. We'll see how this year goes movie wise. It's not looking great either, honestly. Like all the
Especially
movies.
because what Disney Plus is doing.
Okay, so that's another good transition. But yeah, I'm just like, I don't know, dude. There's no good movies. But let's go ahead and transition to that one as well. Disney Plus pulls the plug on the Tiana show. The whole crowd gasped.
Was there even such a thing? I'm this
Yes,
first
we
I'm
talked.
hearing about
We
it.
Yeah,
talked
we
about
did
it
talk
on the
about it.
show.
Did
Now
we?
the question
Oh
is,
my goodness.
why? Why? Also,
Ugh.
why are people claiming it's a race thing?
It's ridiculous. They've been reporting it heavily on BET and other sources like that, but this comes from the Hollywood Reporter. Here's the title of the article: Tiana Disney Plus series shelved as Walt Disney Animation abandons long-form streaming content. First announced in 2020, the Disney Plus show was envisioned as a musical featuring Anika Noni Rose reprising her role as Tiana, Disney's first Black princess from The Princess and the Frog. While Disney Animation Studios has officially pulled the plug on its Tiana Princess series as it abandons making of original long-form content for streaming, the Hollywood Reporter has learned. A spokesperson confirmed that there will be some layoffs in its Vancouver studio as a result of this shift in business strategy. In addition to the Tiana series, the studio is also scrapping an unannounced feature-length project that was set to go straight to Disney Plus. Tiana was first announced in December 2020 and was envisioned as a musical. We already said that. Sources close to the streaming services say that despite best efforts, including several changes to the creative team, Tiana ultimately could not get to where it needed to be given production costs. Still, The Princess and the Frog remains a key property for its company. But, I mean,
How
Come on.
Was it
interesting.
supposed to be a show like the Rapunzel cartoon animated series that came out?
I don't know. But
The
here's
like
my
Tangled?
issue. Here's my issue with people getting all up in arms about it. They seem to have forgotten that Moana had the same treatment. Now Moana did eventually get her own movie, but there must have been enough content for it to be made into a movie. There must not
Right.
have been enough content created for a Tiana movie, or thought that it would be cost effective to make it into a movie since they're already laying people off.
Right, because
My question,
when you're watching the Moana movie, you can obviously see this was episode 1, this was
right?
episode 2, and episode 3. So maybe the Tiana show didn't quite make it to that production level quite yet.
Right.
There wasn't enough finished material. then.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So what's your
Oh.
question?
My question is, why the layoffs in the first place?
Yeah, that's interesting. Also, why are they cutting out these like TV shows, these like long form content? I,
And I was watching.
I don't
Did you guys
understand.
watch? There's a new series. It's only 4 episodes called Win or Lose on
The
Disney
baseball
Plus.
show.
Well,
Yeah.
no, it's not just
I've
about
heard
baseball.
about it.
I watched it. It's made by Pixar, and it was unsettling. It
In
made
what
me
way?
very uncomfortable. Okay, so it's very creative how they approached that show.
It's controversial already, though.
It is,
Why?
and
It is.
it just, the content made me feel very uneasy. So it's all centered. It does center around this baseball championship day.
Okay.
But you're looking at people's days from their point of view and how they live their lives. So the first episode is about the baseball coach's daughter and how she's really bad at baseball, and she wants to do well for her dad, but she feels all this enormous pressure. And so her pressure takes the form of like this creature that nobody can see, but it grows as her anxiety grows. And
And sorry,
it'll,
this is animated, correct?
yeah, it's
The whole
Disney, it's
thing.
Pixar animated.
Okay.
It looks like Mei
Okay.
style.
That same. Yeah.
I'm gonna call it Mei style from now on.
Mm-hmm.
And so as her anxiety grows, it grows on her back and weighs her down, but sometimes it'll shrink back, and it's silly. Sometimes it's silly, and
Mm-hmm.
it'll talk to her. But the environment that she sees
That's
the
like
world,
Big Mouth,
Big Mouth.
the with
The
the
TV show.
Well,
yeah,
I know that,
the
but
Netflix show,
I hate Big
because
Mouth.
it's the not the puberty monster. Is that what it's called? The puberty
Something like
monster,
that.
hormone
Fucking hate
monster.
that show.
It's exactly the same thing.
Yeah. So, but that's her.
Except the hormone monster is absolutely offensive.
It's horrible. I even I can't watch it, and sometimes I'm like, oh, I can turn a
It's
blind
so
eye. No,
ugly.
I
I
can't.
can't.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the first episode. The second episode is about the teacher who is the umpire. But he's the teacher in the classroom as well. And he's got a shield. He doesn't let people in. So his thing is he puts on armor to protect himself, and he's got a
He's
shield.
he's
And he
emotionally
doesn't
closed off.
Yes, exactly. So he doesn't
Mm.
let people get
Oh
too
my
close to
gosh.
him. And he was dating this girl, and she was getting too close. And even though he felt very um close to her and wanted to be around her and all that, he's like, no, you're getting too close, like we're gonna break it off. So he starts
Mm.
online dating. And
Jeez.
I don't go check that out. It's kind of like, oh man. So when it gets time for the championship game, he's a wreck. He's a wreck. The third episode, and this is where I felt very uncomfortable. I think it was because it was hitting too close to stereotypical children and families, like how people see and maybe this is how the world is, and I just don't know. Maybe. So there's this middle school girl that's also on the baseball team, and she is a businesswoman because she has to be. Her mom, according to her, how she sees the world is just like doesn't care. She doesn't take care of the family. They got a little bit. It's a single mom with the middle school girl and a baby, and the mom just doesn't care. She doesn't take care of anything. She just wants to be an influencer. She quit her job. Um and so the girl is like, well, I need money. We need money to do stuff. So she starts a hustle, and she's very, very smart. And so she starts a hustle where she sells, she tutors, but it's not really tutoring. It's just giving the answers pretty much. So she's cheating. Um, and things get out of hand where she's on her phone and she gets into a very dangerous situation. And I'll just leave it that it just kind of ends like that. And then
Mm-hmm.
the last story is from the mom's point of view. And from the mom's point of view, she's working. She was laid off at her job because her baby at daycare was causing problems and needed to be picked up immediately. And the job is like, if you leave, you're fired. And she's like, well, I guess I'm fired. And she's like, I'll look for a job. And she was working at nights, unbeknownst to the girl, and just taking care of the baby and doing everything she could to give her kids exactly what they wanted. And she was saying, I don't want my kids
Jeez.
to end up like me. And the girl doesn't see this, and she finds out that the girl was caught cheating, but it wasn't really cheating. It wasn't, but it wasn't. And so there, I mean, there's a whole lot going into this,
Yeah.
and it just made me feel uncomfortable.
They're getting too like real, maybe.
Yeah.
Like the animation is supposed to take you out of this world. It's supposed to be an escape. And so and there's obviously aspects of, real world, but I think maybe something like Inside Out has made it too
Relatable.
obvious.
Yeah,
Yeah,
too obviously relatable.
yeah, and it's
Like,
like
okay,
we
so
need to
like
go back
like
to
Finding Nemo.
imaginative.
Oh, I'm missing my child. My child is missing. We let's find my child. My
Yeah,
child
but
has a handicap.
it's still so imaginative because these aren't real people. These are fish Okay.
Mhm.
So you can relate to missing your son, missing your dad, trying to, find purpose or whatever, or trying to, escape something like Nemo is. But also, it's silly. It's a cartoon. It's heartfelt in the sense that you can relate to it. But it also takes you out of reality for just a moment. The same thing with any Pixar movie, and that's what made them so lovable in the first place, was that they were relatable, but they were cartoons. They were fun and exciting and silly. And it's like we've lost the plot a little bit. We've made it too plot driven, too relatable, and it's almost like, well, this is just as uncomfortable as the real world is.
Yeah. So,
You know?
I really felt uneasy. So, part of me is like, okay, let's take a step back. Pixar thought this was a good idea,
Mm-hmm.
and Pixar is a part of Disney. So, you guys made that. That made me really
Well,
uncomfortable, but
But we're
in
taking
fact,
Tiana off.
beforehand though, this was even heavier. Originally, the show
oh, I know. I wasn't
had
even going to mention it.
transgender character, and
Yeah.
they decided
Making it
like we need
too
to pull it.
realistic.
Well, not even that. Like, just going too far.
Yeah.
Like,
Too
what
far,
the
too
heck?
realistic. It's where's the imagination? Where's the wonder? Where is the escapism? I feel like that's what we're missing a lot in this. Is some escapism. I want to escape the real world for just a moment. That's
Yes.
why we watch movies. That's why we play video games and watch TV shows. And there's different categories for everything, but that's what animation always was, an escape, something to look at and go, finally, I can just turn my brain off and watch something fun and watch
And-
something thought provoking still at the same time.
And in the show, Win or Lose, they the girl goes to a party, and because she's meeting somebody there to try to buy some shoes off of her, and this party,
Nice.
I'm like, I don't want to be watching this. Like, they weren't doing anything bad. There was nothing bad at this party, but I'm like, I'm uneasy. I don't like what I'm seeing. There's something.
I think you're getting old.
Maybe
That can be the other thing too.
I admit that, man. I totally admit that. I don't like what I'm seeing here.
That can be the other thing too. Is like I'm a grown
Narc.
up.
Yeah.
I'm a grown up watching this, and this is like of a child's life, and it's like it's not the same as what it used to be.
But and who's the audience? Who exactly are they trying to for small children? No. Not
Right.
small children. Preteens? Maybe. Certainly not people my age, I don't think, unless you get to those 2 episodes with the 2 adults, which I did like the one with the teacher. I thought that was really good. And the moms was good too. It was just so weird. And I know I'm rambling, sorry, but it was weird. I need you guys to watch it and then come back and give me your opinions.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I feel like they're losing themselves a little bit. But I also think, okay, that they're pulling a lot of these projects due to budgets. They have destroyed their reputation with the everyday people, with password sharing being taken away, with them increasing the prices of their subscription, and also stating, hey, we know that you're paying for specific titles to be ad free. That's not going to be the case anymore. All of these streaming services are shooting themselves in the foot by doing crappy things like that, crappy practices that are so against who you're trying to provide for, that people are canceling their subscriptions and they're not going to pay for it anymore. And that causes them to lose money. And then in return causes them not to be able to do the projects that they so wanted to do. So it's a cycle that will keep continuing. We're going to take titles away. We're going to cost because this cost is going up or
I
whatever.
feel like I'm being punished.
We're
for
losing money.
existing.
So Sid Star says that, and they get more viewership for things like Bluey, which are short form content. So they're going off of those stats instead of making more series.
Mhm.
Yeah, those are the popular ones, which, Tiana could be popular. Maybe they would put
I
that
would
on
watch the crap out of that.
maybe they would put it on like the Disney Channel, like the actual Disney
Nobody
Channel.
would watch the crap out of that.
Yeah, but
Nobody watches that.
I mean,
Nobody.
that's what I actually watch more than Disney Plus because it comes with my YouTube TV that I already have a subscription for, that already I know has advertisements on it because it's like cable. We're going backwards. I want cable now and not streaming services. Screw the streaming services. There's too many, and they're shooting themselves in the foot. It's like
satellite dish companies are going soon.
Yeah, I'm like, dang, do I need to go get my dish hung up on my roof again? Like, seriously, it is almost reverting backwards. And that's just all I have to say about that one. It's just very interesting where this is headed with all of that. I
hate it.
Yeah. Brian, did you have anything else to add about that?
That's all I got to say about that.
Okay. All right. Moving on. We did recently have another passing. This was actually the day after we talked about our last recording.
Yeah.
Gene Hackman has passed away. But also his wife and his dog. All at the same time.
Mom thinks it was carbon monoxide poisoning.
And that very well could be, but they have tests for that. And I don't know. It's very, very suspicious.
I don't know. Yeah,
very strange.
I think they've done autopsies and they're kind of inconclusive, or they're still not sharing not revealing the issue.
I want to know what kind of dog it was.
I want to know what happened
have
in
any
general.
secret evidence?
Yeah, guys, I found out how. No, I was trying to grab something, because it goes into our next news topic. But sorry for his family because that's just horrible. And to his wife and everything. Sid Star says they did test it. It was carbon. It wasn't carbon monoxide.
I don't know what to believe anymore.
It was not carbon monoxide. So,
well, then what
foul
was it?
Play. Did everyone go into cardiac arrest at the same time?
Even the
dog. Sid Star says it was a German Shepherd.
Well.
Poor puppy. Poor baby.
So
still super weird. And it's been a week now almost, and we don't have any other news.
His head fell off. He was really old.
No, I was thinking more like, and then he killed the dog.
Oh my gosh. This man was 95. What a way to go. It just makes me wonder, like, how's the ending of my story gonna go? Am I gonna die in a carbon monoxide poisoning?
Now I gotta check it out.
I think you would die very peacefully. I think you'd fall asleep and then just pass out.
Well, I would hope so, but I just don't know. I don't want to die on accident.
I'd rather die abruptly than slowly.
At that point, 95 is any kind of death. Not
this
an
is
accident,
so weird. So, Men's Journal, okay, investigators make major conclusions in Gene Hackman's suspicious death. Authorities rule out one cause of death, which was the carbon monoxide. But also, where was it? They just said, where was that? I just did issue 5 red tags to the residents, 1 for minuscule non-lethal leak at the stove burners, and 4 for code enforcement violations not involving leaks or carbon monoxide. So it was not related to any of those things. Also, dang it, where did that one? Oh, here it is. Hackman and Arkawa tested negative for carbon monoxide, and that no external trauma was seen on either of them.
So then what happened? Poisoning?
Right.
So they weren't beaten. There was no foul play.
No.
You
Well,
know,
I mean,
it's a
it could have
mystery.
been poison.
Super, super weird. It's like this was 9 hours
They've done an
ago.
autopsy. By an autopsy by now, the toxicology report.
Well,
would
I
be in
mean,
and they'd
have
be
you
able to say,
seen cop shows, Brian? They are,
Yeah,
honest to the point.
unless it's some
Mm.
sort of poison that cannot be found by straightforward toxicology
That's what happened on
analysis.
Rizzoli and Isles that one time.
Hmm.
They thought it was voodoo, but it wasn't voodoo.
Voodoo.
It wasn't voodoo.
So it says, while the gas leak appears to have been ruled out, 3 more causes of death were what is that word?
Hypothesized.
No. Posited? I don't know what that word is. What is it? From the initial kind of circumstances, it seems like he may have collapsed. This would
On
be
the
wild.
wife and the dog.
Wait, this is wild. He had a history of heart disease. He got a pacemaker. So that would not be unusual. The unusual part is then, why did she also collapse? Assuming she would have found him.
I've fallen and I can't get up. Oh
No, Brian, the way you're saying that. No, the way you're saying that is he took my tongue. Yes, thank you.
Help me!
This would be wild.
No.
Gil floated another possibility that Betsy died first and Gene found her and was going to get help or get his phone and then collapsed from the stress of it.
What about the dog? Stop!
What floated? What's floating?
So he suggested a kind of broken heart type of thing almost
No!
that's been known to happen.
No,
Suddenly finding
I love you.
This is really
My
so
chest ripping
You're both insane.
it's so weird. So odd.
No, that's like that movie The Notebook. Did you guys ever see that movie The Notebook?
Yes, I
Yes.
saw it with grandma in theater.
Yeah, where the one old person dies, and because the other person can't live without the other one, they just die.
Yeah,
They literally
I-
died at the same time.
I can
within
totally
seconds.
understand that. However, the dog also
dog-
died.
But the dog loved them so much too. It's like, no, who's gonna feed me? Feed me! I love you.
It's so horrible. Ooh. What if it was the
It's
other way
not.
around? What if it was the dog died first?
Benny, I love you. No, I can't go up. I can't go up. No.
You're making my stomach hurt. I have a child in my stomach. I can't laugh like this. It hurts.
Gene,
I got
what
a feeling
happened?
in my stomach. Help me.
It was like falling dominoes. Boom, boom. Some falling dominoes
Wait.
had happened.
What
Oh
was
my
the wife's
gosh.
name? Nancy?
Betsy.
Betsy? Betsy? Benny? Betsy and Betty! Oh.
Wait, what if it's out of order? It's out of order. The dog dies first, and then no, the other way. I'm sorry. Betsy dies first, and then the dog Benny comes over, sees that Betsy's dead, dies, and then Gene comes over, and then that's how they die.
Oh my gosh.
It's so odd, and I know we're making a joke of this, and it's horrible.
You think
Three living beings have died. It's just so wild. Sid Star says, okay, the dog was misidentified. It wasn't a German Shepherd, but an Australian Kelpie mix that died.
No! We can't joke anymore. No more joking.
Kelpie, no!
No more joking. No.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-mm.
I find this so hard to believe. Okay, so it's been a week already and we have nothing. Hopefully next week the people who are in charge will do their job.
I
No,
bet,
because we know Katie's gonna say it's Alec Baldwin or something.
No, I was gonna say
Alec,
I
get
was
down!
gonna say Diddy did it.
Oh,
Drake
yeah,
did it.
probably.
No, not Drake. Diddy did it.
Drake did it. They all did it. They were in cahoots. Drake, Diddy, and Alec.
By the way, I gotta tell you something because this added to my frustration today.
What?
We were at trivia tonight, and one of the answers was Iggy Azalea, and Wesley goes Iggy, 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 Iggy.
Can't you
He was
see how those-
referencing that song, Biggie, 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 Biggie. You're so fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. He had thought the whole time that they
Can't
were
you
saying
see?
Iggy.
Oh my god.
That sounds like me.
Yeah,
That sounds like the whitest man in the world.
he is. And he's heard that song so many times, and I'm like, you're freaking kidding.
That sounds like
Everybody
me
at the
not
table
knowing
was laughing
anything.
at it.
Anyways, the last news segment that we're going to go over is Sid Star says, just wait for the Netflix documentary. Gene Hackman,
Hacked to death.
3-in-1.
Jeez.
I quit.
Anyways, guys, it's almost Mario Day. Woo woo woo. Woo woo woo.
Yeah.
March 10th is
Oh, that's
Mario
what that's
Day.
in.
Yeah, and that's a thing.
Just wanted
How
to throw it out
exciting.
there.
And that's why I went over to my drawer over there. I
oh,
get to
oh,
wear my
oh, oh.
Mario nails.
And I just remembered because I bought the magazine today for a friend of mine. It's also it's Mario's 40th anniversary this year. So he was on Time Magazine. So it's an important year for Mario. So who knows what's going to happen on Mario Day? Who knows what's going to happen?
Absolutely nothing.
Well, there are some deals.
Do we
Who knows
remember?
what's going to happen?
Do we remember Donkey Kong last year when nothing happened? I remember.
When Switch 2 comes out, who knows if there's going to be some fun stuff regarding Mario. Did you guys I probably know the answer to this, but Ilyana, did you watch anything regarding Pokemon Day last week?
I saw some updates and I saw some YouTubers talking about it, but did I watch it? Like, actually, no.
I'm looking forward to Pokemon Legends AZ, which is coming out at the end of this year. I think in December. I want it.
Get into my hands.
Yes.
So that will conclude the news segment for today. And briefly, we're going to talk about the Chunk Zone.
So chunky. As you do your nail.
Yeah, filing. This new SHREK movie. Okay, we have the smallest little video of it. You know, we got that little sliver picture screenshot type of thing.
Teaser image.
And whoa, the internet has blown up. So I'm going to read what KT wrote because I really liked what she wrote too. The new teaser image for the upcoming SHREK movie has fans in arms, similar to how fans felt the first time we saw the Sonic the Hedgehog movie character. Now, laying that aside, should audiences have a say in how we think the vision of a creator studio works? Also, it's worked before, but is it a potential problem for the industry? Now, what I think you mean by that is like the community was in such arms about Sonic that the creators changed his entire look.
We're sorry.
Yeah.
We're sorry.
And no one knew if it was like, well, was this a PR stunt? Was this, planned? Or was this legitimate? And they were just going like, oh, okay, we hear you guys. We hear you. Will this, be a similar thing for SHREK?
Before we answer that question, we got to get into some silly, controversial stuff. Because I saw this today. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with people?
Dang, what the heck? Why are you swearing, bro?
Because
yeah, usually we leave that up to Brian.
Today. People were like, why are people okay? Why is the studio trying to make her into a white character? Clearly, she's black. Talking about the daughter, and it's like,
What?
first of all, she's a
What?
green
Are you
ogre.
who said
Second
that?
of all, when Fiona and Shrek are in their human forms, they're both white.
Yeah,
What are you guys talking about?
that's
What
just
is your
somebody rage.
problem?
That's just somebody starting a fight, rage baiting. That's ridiculous.
Yes.
Dang.
It's so stupid. I hate crap like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just had to get that off my chest.
No,
That's so
I just
stupid.
one thing I wanted to say is that I saw some people like, "Oh, we already know the plot of this script." She's like, "Mom, Dad, why you guys always on my back? I'm just trying to live my life."
Yeah.
No, listen, Fiona Jr., you have to listen to me. I grew up in the swamp and I know what happens. These people, they'll try to kill you. They'll try to tell you what to do. You just have to live like I do. No, Dad, you don't understand. People are cool and awesome. I know.
Weren't
Trust
there
me.
3 babies also?
Yeah.
I can do this. Oh
The
my
world has
gosh.
changed.
Jeez,
Did you guys-
Dad?
I'm gonna tweet about it on X.
Oh my
Uh,
gosh.
did you
No,
guys
nobody
ever
uses
see-
X anymore? I'm on Blue Sky. Blue Sky is for people that are free.
Did you guys ever see that one Pinocchio movie that was like,
No.
well, not actually watch it, but you know of it.
Yes,
where
I
it's
know
like,
of it. with
Father,
Pauly
when can
Shore.
I go out on my own?
Yes.
The Tom Hanks one?
No,
No.
with Pauly Shore.
He's like,
What?
Yes.
What the heck are you talking about?
Look it up.
Oh gosh.
Brian's about to have his
That
world wrong.
wait,
sounds
I'm gonna help you
absolutely
out.
horrible.
Keep talking about this.
About Pinocchio or
No,
Well, yeah. So what's your point? I mean, the movie, it's.
you know what? I'm so glad that
Oh,
Wesley
gosh.
told me how to spell Pinocchio by saying Pinocchio that one time. That really is
I know, man.
helpful.
Look, the thing about Shrek, when Shrek first came out back in 2000, the thing that was cool about it, it was a movie that was against the grain. It was all about pushing against the man. It was a movie all about going against the man, Disney. That's
Yes.
what it was all about, and about sticking it to the man, being edgy, cool. And now with this, they're like they are the man. They truly, truly are. I mean, prove me wrong that this is not going to be just a
No,
lame
you're on it, I think.
comedy. I mean,
Father, when can I leave to be on my own? I've got the whole world to see.
what the heck is this? What's that?
One more time.
Why are you
Father, when
flipping
can I
off?
leave to be on my own? I've got the whole world to see.
That's fake.
No, it's real.
Can't be
It's
real.
real.
When and where?
Last year? 2 years ago?
2 or 3 years ago now.
Yeah.
Lionsgate? Are you kidding me? I think nobody's talking about this. Father, I want to be
Father, when
free.
can I leave to be on my own? I've got the whole world to see. You are too. Father, tell me.
Yeah. So
Where can I stream this monstrosity?
Sid Star says it's so whiny. Father, when can I leave to be on my own? It's so
Look,
fruity.
not that I condone
Father, when
this,
can I
but
leave
my
to be on my
gosh, stop.
own? I've
not
got
that
the
I condone this, but this needs to be watched with edibles, shrooms, weed, I don't know, and then watched immediately for the best time of your life, because that would be wild.
Oh my gosh.
Gosh. But yeah,
Seriously,
so
that's a
going
good time
back to
right there.
Shrek, Sid Star says it's stupid because Zendaya has made it known for years that she loves the Shrek movies, and that's who is actually playing the teenage daughter is Zendaya. So that's some news.
Great. What is that supposed to do about anything? Like, am I supposed to be
Right.
impressed? You got Zendaya.
Yeah.
Like, good for you. She's a very popular movie star.
Well, think about it. Okay,
TV
the
star.
previous Shrek movies, you had Mike Myers, you had Cameron Diaz, you had Eddie Murphy.
Antonio Banderas.
Exactly. All well-known actors of the
Julie
time.
Andrews.
Yes, all well-known actors of the time. They needed to do that same thing, but with today's times, 20 years in the future. Who are
But
well-known
now I
actors?
feel,
Do people really care
Zendaya.
about
but
Zendaya
but
anymore?
that's a very Shrek thing to do. No, very Shrek 3 thing to do.
Oh
3.
yeah.
Because like let me put it to you this way. Shrek 1 was edgy. It was all against the crowd. It was, Generation X. Shrek 2
Hey now,
was like
you're a rock star. Get your game on.
we're just
Go
gonna go all
play.
the way out and we're just gonna have fun and everybody's gonna have a good time. It was
Yeah.
like the best amusement park ride ever. Shrek 3 is like corporate. That's literally where they got
Hi, your mom.
everybody from Saturday Night Live, The
Yes.
Office, all that, and they're like, who's the most popular funny people around? Krasinski? Yeah, we'll get him. Justin Timberlake?
Justin Timberlake.
We'll get him. He's pretty funny and he can sing and he's sexy. He's a sexy guy. Throw him in there. Absolutely.
He's bringing sexy back, actually.
That didn't
Yeah,
age
that
well.
was back in the good old days of 2006, 2007.
Yeah.
And so now you're like, well, so what, the Zendaya Shrek is gonna meet some dude played by Timothy Chalamet, and they're gonna fall in love, and Shrek's gonna
Oh
be like,
Lord.
no, you cannot date the Chalamet. Are you crazy? I won't allow this. Fiona, do something. Shrek, it's just a different generation. You're just too old now. Yeah, Shrek, come on. Let the kids have some fun, man. Let them go out. I don't want this to happen. Something's gonna happen, and I'm writing the movie as I speak. All right.
Yeah. And
Tell me
it's
I'm
like
wrong.
the
Tell me I'm
only
wrong.
the only actors that they're releasing right now is Zendaya, Cameron Diaz, Mike Myers, and Eddie Murphy being listed. That's the full cast right now that they're being listed. So it's like, gosh.
Shrek 4, who did they get? They get John Hamm from Mad Men because he was super popular back then. And he was
Bet
doing
you there's
Saturday
gonna
Night
be
Live all
like
the time.
some what's his name? John Mulaney or something, because we need funny voices to compete with Donkey.
Guaranteed.
We need a competition for donkeys, so he's there. Like, they don't have Antonio Banderas listed there, so there's no Puss in Boots so far.
Hey, I forgot to mention, this has nothing to do with what we're talking about right now, but going back to Win or Lose, there was there is a Christian character, which is the first time there was an open Christian character in a Disney movie since 1996. I just have to throw
Goodness.
that out there.
Fungus says Shrek's Russian now. I guess Brian's accent was leaning more on the Russian side.
Listen to you, Fungus. You pipe down over there, okay? This is
Well,
the
I hope-
best Highland Scottish accent you've ever heard. Now you pipe down, you fungus.
It's
all
funny
right?
because he is Scottish.
Tell him off.
Yeah, tell him off in your Scottish accent.
Yes.
He can't
Please.
even comprehend how good it is. Psh. But yeah, time will tell where this goes. Once again, this was just like a snippet. We saw like a little of that movie. We haven't seen anything else. Oh gosh. Yeah, your mom says, "Donkey." Oh gosh. If they leave it in that art style,
Which in their defense, I'm not saying it's the right thing, but I'm saying in their defense, they changed the art style for Puss in Boots.
which is
last movie.
completely fine, and it was an
It worked.
artistic choice.
Yes, it was nice to look at. It was aesthetically pleasing. This looks like bad Play-Doh. It looks like goopy, poopy, green Play-Doh.
Like,
Yes.
I'm sorry. What is that? That is not
like
the Shrek that I
AI.
know.
That looks like AI crap that I see.
That is not the Shrek that I know. This is the Shrek that I know, and it's from even one of the worst movies.
What a fox.
And it's, of course, not whatever. But what? 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 Fiona doesn't even have blue eyeballs. This is the Shrek I grew up with. This is my Shrek. This is not my Shrek. Why are his eyes so, like, open? Like
Welcome to Parenthood.
the difference.
It's the nose. The nose is a completely different shape.
And the eyes are too close together. And the eyebrows are too defined.
And the head is a different shape as well. And the
Yes.
teeth are all fricked up.
Yeah. And he doesn't have a where's his
Underbite.
yeah. Onions. Y'all, I just don't know. I don't know. Maybe your mom says, I don't like that. So straightforward, your mom. I don't like that. Neither do we, so. Yeah, I can't go that high. Is a piranha plant singing?
Where'd it go? Where is it?
Give me old Shrek. I agree. Give me old Shrek or die.
I don't know where my piranha plant is, or I would use it.
Yeah, if you did like a with the piranha plant. Just like the ones in Wonder, the Wonder ones that are singing too.
Oh, yes. Oh, so good.
So cute. But yeah, Shrek 5. Ooh, was this a movie that anybody wanted? No.
Maybe if it was done right, but it's not.
No, I'm so done after Shrek
So
2.
I'm excited for Mario Day then.
Yeah. Mario Day. Doo 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 doo. Boop 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 doo 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 doo. Anyways, that will be concluding this week's episode of Bump That. Gosh, like I said, that was a lot of good stuff, but a lot of like good stuff that's bad. Do you know what I mean?
Nah, dab.
Exactly. So time will tell where all of this stuff will go. The Oscars, Gene Hackman, Shrek. Goodness, we've got a lot to be wary of.
Got a lot to be thankful of for.
Yeah. Like what?
I don't know. Tell me later.
We'll get back to you. You leave us down in the comments down below what we should be thankful for. But anyways, we've got Brian somewhere on the screen. I think he melted. Oh, there he is. We've got KT somewhere on the screen.
Bye.
And I'm Miliana, your host, signing off on yet.
Set you up.
Oh, yeah. What'd you say, Brian?
I was like, to Katie, I was like, Jose. Yeah, Manuel. I'm hungry.
Does KT know that one? She doesn't seem like she knows it.
She should.
Well, I'm
She
mad because
should.
my guitar is out of tune.
Well, then put your
Yeah,
dang
she just
guitar
told
down.
me.
I'm trying to close the show. Well, anyways, I'm Miliana, your host, and we are signing off on yet another episode of Bump That. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we will see you guys in next week's episode. Bye-bye.